And coming up now on the stage, we have Michael Frumson. He is from South Florida, Boca Raton. And today he's going to be talking about how to simply use the tarot card. He's been asked today, even in the room, about the difference between oracle cards and angel cards and tarot cards. And that might be part of his topic that he'll be talking about. So 6 years ago, Michael had a vivid UFO experience, and he began seeking. I put him on a quest, and which led him to Spain to learn about energy healing and to work with many other teachers and reading thousands of books. He started reading some channel texts, and he was awakened to his galactic family, and he started to see other lives. Contacting the spirit world came quite easily, and from that he spent a lot of time, many of the time that was spent before this life. So he talks to dead people, deceased people. Tarot came very easily for him also to remember from other lives. He's also a medium, and that it comes very easily for him. So he's a channel, a medium, and I don't even see the word pendulum in here. He's a pendulum expert as well. He loves using the pendulum, and maybe he'll even talk about that. Whatever you want to talk about, Michael, you got the stage for the next 25 minutes.
Hey, thank you. You can hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Huh?
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Whatever you would like us to do is just to take a deep breath, all of us together. And to bless this space, to be sacred, for us to allow guidance to come in, for us to allow clarity to come in, for us to allow channel messages, for us to help to see things more clearly, things that can look complex, to make them so much more clearly, and just for us to be open for information. So thank you. I put a note for myself before I forget. I wrote together, you can call it the channel book, it's channel guidance.
Michael, it's a little hard to hear with that music in the background.
No better?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to hear your voice.
You're right, more important. So I put a note for myself. You can call it a channel book about tarot from our guidance. It's a short book, and I sell it for $10. If you guys resonate, I would love for you guys to read it. It can bring lots of clarity. So I only have 25 minutes to make all of us see maybe things more clearly, and to maybe make tarot and channeling and everything just be more clearly for us, Pendulum too. What I would really love to do is doesn't matter where I start, for us to do is completely forget everything we know about tarot, even for the next 25 minutes, if it's possible. To completely forget any concepts we have about tarot, any things we think we know about tarot, or things we know about oracle cards or angel cards, or all of the cards. What would be amazing in this space for us to completely forget everything, and I'll explain in a second why. But basically, to take all the information that we accumulated, where the tarot came from, their origin, or what do they represent, or just clear our minds from that. The reason I'm saying it is because tarot is something really, really simple, and it took effort for me to share. I've been doing tarot only in this life for 7 months, but I remember doing it at least in 3 more lives, and one which is really vividly. So it can really, you can say easily to me. So sorry, I'm excited. Tarot is something really, really simple, and what we do in our collective, we tend to make things more complicated than they are. Tarot is just a way for our guidance, which is our spirit family, our extraterrestrial family, our anything that we can basically bring through that give us messages through. And the way they do it, they use it through symbolism on the cards. So the less we know, the less we think, the less we have concept of, the clearer the messages will be, which means their job will be much more easier. So this is the reason I say we need to clear everything from about tarot cards. Also, what it's really, I feel like it's relevant also to share, and I'm happy to share it with all of you guys, is many of us tend to have many decks, like 20 decks, 30 decks. Some people have like, I don't know how many decks. What comes through a lot in many sessions, like what I want to say is, it will be amazing if we can minimize everything to 1 or 2 decks, because it will make their job much easier. Because what we do, we basically confuse ourselves and them with the tarot cards. Sorry, my son is going crazy. Cool. So I will do a reading for all of us, and what I feel is really important also to share here is, I've been blessed to do many readings in a very short time, like I think maybe 1,000 readings in a couple of months in Facebook and some groups. And something was keep on coming up. And I think it's very important for like all of us to understand it. When I was given the messages for people, when I was opening the cards, I felt like the messages I was given, they're not only for the actual person that's receiving the message, but actually for me. And the more I went into it, and the more I actually saw that the messages are literally something that I experience in the same day. I guess what I'm trying to help us to see is, when you go to a reader, when you go to somebody to read, he's not reading for you only, he's reading for himself, which means he will receive the messages just like you do, which means if, for example, I need to quit my day job and do only this, or I will resonate with people that need to leave their job or need to do something else, and we will work to it together. So the guidance will come through my issues, and we will work to it together, if it makes sense for you guys. So I'm not sure. So not to put things in negative or like positive or whatever. If we go to a reader and the reader tells us, for example, that the message is only for us, what the reader does, and it's completely okay, he just maybe doesn't understand, he gives messages through his mind, through his ego, through his intellect. So he projects on us what he thinks about us, and we take it literally. When we go to a reading, the reader and the should be or could be, I don't know what the right way to say, you need to be open to understand that he's receiving the messages just like the person in front of him. And this is why the messages that come through here, they're extremely powerful, and they're also very accurate. So everything that opens up here, it's always resonates. And for the reason that I understand that I'm doing the reading not only for somebody that sits next to me, but also for me. So it always makes sense. Yeah, I hope all of this makes sense. So what you can do, because I wanted to do it like as a workshop, and I use my Pendulum too, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about it, is to take a deck of cards, like let's say you guys like doing readings and you have like decks of cards, and like take all of them and choose one from them and see what the cards actually represent for you, and choose like one card and then another and another, and then when you open it for yourself, the messages basically will they will know what they want to try to tell you. Okay, I feel like I'm going to do a reading. Sorry guys, for me it's public speaking is fun, but I'm excited. Cool. So what I want to do, let me see if it's okay. Cool. So I want to do a reading for all of us. We're going to open some cards for all of us, and I'm going to you will see that basically because you in this meeting, because you listened to this and you didn't go anywhere, so the card will actually resonate for you. So it doesn't matter if I'm opening to one person in particular, but it actually will make sense to you. So I'm just make sure the right card. Cool. So this would represent worrying. So this would represent sitting and worrying, thinking about things, overthinking things, worrying about how things are gonna happen. Like maybe planning too much or strategizing too much, or just overthinking, or like sitting and just pondering how things need to happen. So what this would represent, it's our thinking, which is this can represent thoughts, they're actually blocking our guidance. So it's blocking us from receiving the messages. It's blocking us from receiving the inspirations that we need. So, for example, for me, like me doing this, I'm like worry, like how I'm gonna, because I want to like quit my, like finish with my job and let this support me. So I'm worrying and thinking like how it's gonna do it. So this basically blocks my worrying, blocks for me the light, so their guidance. So again, this could represent because that could represent also when we are experiencing. So what they want us to do basically is to let go and basically they want us to let go and stop thinking that we're alone in this, and let go of planning and let go of how things need to happen, and just let go of that and allow them to take care of us. And because you see how it looks like he's sitting here by himself, so they want to show us that we're not alone and we're not by ourselves. Let's do another one. So I can just hear myself. Okay, so this is a beautiful, beautiful card. First of all, it's a card that represents the spirit world. The first thing that came is to allow our spirit family and our guides to support us financially, to allow them to allow them to take the roots into our worries about the finances and the worries about how money gonna come or how things gonna happen, and allow them just to branch into it and just support it. Allow them to support, just like a tree support its leaves. So they want us to allow them to support this. So leaning on them and walking in this life with them, so which means like putting our hands on them and just walking in this life with them. Not just, we're not walking by ourselves, and just let go, just release their worries to them and allow them to support. So this also represents for many that they're guided by the spirit. I wish we can see. Okay, need another camera. Another one. Beautiful. Michael, show us what you're doing. So this would represent a maze, and it represents a choice. So this would represent that we overcomplicate things, that we make things too much complex, and we overthink things, and we just we get lost in our thoughts. The one that remind us that doesn't matter what path we take, it will basically lead us to the same way. It will lead us to the same solution, to the same place. And they really want us to not complicate things, to just allow space between our thoughts. Cool. So sorry, let's see this. See. Let me show you this. Cool. So the main thing would be for us to let go of the worries about money, because this would represent money, to let go of the worries of money, because what the worries does, they cloud. You see, for example, the clouds. So the worries, what they do, we can look at the worries as clouds. And what we do, basically, the clouds are our thoughts, our negative thoughts, our negative patterns, and they're blocked. So actually what we do from our worries, from our doubts, we actually block in what we think we're doing. So if we overthink about money, we overthink about the situation, what needs to happen, we're actually making the opposite of what we think we're doing. So we're blocking them. That makes sense. It makes sense to me. Yeah, support. So and so this will be connected, that will allow them to support. So it would represent just the same thing with money, just allow them to support. I think we got it. I think we got that part. So this last card would represent a maze, or it represents because because like I said, what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to connect it to myself, which means I want to see what they're telling me. Okay, how is that affecting me? And by doing that, it will resonate. It will bring the message through much more clearly, if it makes sense. That I'm thinking I'm just reading for audience. I'm not. We're all in the same thing. So, for example, for me, that we're thinking about moving. So we're thinking about moving. I'm thinking about. Oh, this is good. So I'm thinking about moving. We want to move to the apartment, and I'm thinking about finishing my job, and what they're trying to say is that these options and although it looks challenging and although there's like on the road, these things will, although they don't look connected, just to make sense, they don't look connected, they will actually lead us to the same place, which means if, for example, you have a place of job that you want to switch, or you have a place of living that you want to switch, or you have a relationship that you want to switch, if we do that, it actually so those two things. So if we let go, for example, of the place that we live in, or we want to go to new path and offer job, this will basically both of them will lead us to this. I hope it makes sense. And that's to me. Not overcomplicate things, not worrying. Like right now, I'm worrying. So what we tend to do with tarot and what we tend to do with oracle cards, what we tend to project our own ideas on them, our own the way we see things. And what we do when we do that, we actually not bringing information from our guidance, but projecting our own thoughts on. What also comes is just, I feel like it's okay to share, and again, not in the negative, but I think a lot of readers and a lot of us need to understand that the reader and the one that gets the reader are in the same thing. And for the readers, they can actually open themselves up to get much clearer messages, and they won't get so confused. And you wouldn't need so much cards, you wouldn't need so much decks. It will be very clear for you to get those messages if you understand that you're reading for others. And on the other side, supposedly, the one that's receiving the readings, probably a lot of you that are listening, you need to understand that the one that gives you the reading have a similar thing like you do. But if he says he's not, no, and it's okay, that the messages you will receive will not be 100% coming from the guidance, but it will be also coming from his own ego and mind, if it makes sense. So it's not like a warning or anything, but just for you to know that this is maybe why a lot of us, this makes sense, a lot of us are looking for so many readers. Like you can do like a reading and a reading and a reading and a reading and a reading. Like you can go from like 100 readers a week. I don't know, like, and the reading, and the reason it's that much is because we're confused, is because the reader and the reading doesn't understand that they're together in this. When they do, the messages are clearer and we can really listen to our guidance. So if you take from all of this that you need to choose like the reader when you come to him and ask him like, hey, you know, you're reading for yourself, and then he said no, to be up to you, of course. But more exciting for me to say is maybe you take from this like things that comes through, and I'll be in my room later if you guys want to ask questions to the session. I think 69. I would love to like, help you guys out to clarify that, and I do sessions, of course. Is even if from all of this you take that you can do the readings for yourself, which means you don't have to go to readers. You can be the reader. You can read this for yourself. But for you to do that, you really have to quiet your mind. You have to go to meditative space. You have to channel the messages, and you have to remove your concepts. Okay, so I can. If you give me right now a newspaper, I can give you a reading from a newspaper. If you like pull right now things here, I can give you a reading from the rule. The reason that for our guidance, it's not important. The tarot cards are just a way for them to talk to us. They talk to us through everything. You can sit in your room and get a reading from like the sun or from pictures. Or I guess what I'm trying to say is to empower you, to empower the one that's listening and will be listening, that you can do it for yourself. You can do the readings for yourself. I do the readings for myself. I read for myself like a lot. And actually, I'm a cheater. I receive the readings with you. So like I'm getting healed with you. So, but if you want to do it for yourself, you can just clear your mind from concepts. And remember that it's not, the cards don't represent anything, which means they can represent for you something, and in the next moment they can represent something else, if it makes sense. Not to like over confuse you or make it even clear. For example, I can open these cards for you that I did, and in the next person I'm doing the reading, I'll actually read something completely else for him. So the card will represent something completely else for me. So we need to stay open. We need to stay open to receive the messages. So if we like get stuck, and okay, this is what comes through. Thank you for allowing me. This is the reason that we need so many cards, because what we do, this is good. Okay, so if you get from this, you'll be really good. The reason that we have so many decks of cards is because what we do, we make each card into something. So for them to talk to us, they have to use that specific cards. So sometimes we go to readers and they open like 20 cards for us. And the reason is because we have too many projection on the cards, if it makes sense. So what we could do is to remove everything from our minds and clear our minds and understand that everything can just mean anything. And the cards like always change. So the cards can represent one thing for another. Open it, close it, it will represent another thing for another, because they talk to us through this. Sorry, I said something about Pendulum. I could talk about Pendulum. Again, if you guys resonate, I wrote a really short book. It's beautiful, and there's a lot of things that I'm talking about here. And it's expressed. It's just like you can say it's channel guidance, and I'll sell it like for $10. It can really help you guys out. It helps me. What else I'll say about that? See, yeah, I don't know. Cool. So what I would like for us to do right now is just take a moment of like silence together and just to allow our guides to take care of us. You can put one hand on your stomach, one on your heart, and just allow our guidance to take care of us, just to release everything to them. Because eventually all these messages, all the tarot cards, what they're trying to do is to allow them to take care of us. So what I would like for all of us is just to release everything to them, allow them to carry us, allow them to take care of us, allow them to worry for us, allow them to do everything for us. So we understand we're never alone, and we've never been alone, and it's just a cycle of learning. There's so much love for all of us, and this guidance are like literally like here all the time. So release everything, just for us to release anything to them, to clear our minds from concepts, clear our minds from understanding, just to be blank slate for them to project their thoughts on us, just like mediums, that's what they do. I think I'm done.
Do you want to open it up to any quick questions?
Yes, I think I'm done. I'm sorry.
Does anybody have any anybody have any quick questions to ask Michael with the he can answer with the pendulum?
Yeah, if you want to, don't have to. If you're ready.
Or he can pull a card.
I can. Do I have? Okay, so I guess Michael, you have more time.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do another card.
Because we got our other speakers ready. We got We got, let's see, Annette is gonna be right here in the main room. And then we have Jen Post is gonna be in the playroom. Jen Post is gonna be showing up right now, and she's gonna be doing Cosmic Journey to the Stars and the Dragons with a light language message. And then Annette Moore is gonna be right here in the main stage. And then we have all the healers and psychics and readers in room number 2, ready to serve you. And they're offering 5 minutes for free and reduced show prices. Okay, so if anybody would like to have some private time with Michael, he is available. And he's in room number 69. He was running the psychic booking room. And then he's available for the next few hours. And then he'll be back on the main, he'd be in the playroom at 8:30 to do more interactive experiences and even some mediumship and some readings. So Michael, I believe you have a door prize for somebody.
Oh, yes.
So he's
Maybe
going to
to
put a
remember.
number on a piece of paper. You guys put a number in the chat from 0 to 100. If you'd like to win a session with him, you cannot have won another prize today. And it is for the guests. If you are a practitioner, you need to make an arrangement, but it's cool to see how close you got, how psychic you are. Sometimes that happens.
Yay.
Then you know, so you guys can work it out. So we got a lot of numbers coming into the chat. If anyone's listening to us right now, you need to be here on Zoom, so come join us. It's bit.ly/730 fair, today's date and the word fair. Okay, so we have a bunch of numbers here, and Michael, you can even do the trade, you can do the, you could do it today if you want. So whoever the winner is, follow him to room number 69 and exchange information so you can redeem your prize. So Michael, we'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And what is your number?
55.
Oh, 5, 5. I thought it was an 8.
No, 5.
So the 55 is in the middle, and looks like we got Joanne Miller. Congratulations, Joanne.
Yay.
Yes.
Cool. So congratulations, Joanne. And you can follow him to room number 69. If anybody has Q&A to talk to Michael, he's available for the next 30 minutes in his room. Or you can find him in room number 2 and book a session with him. He offers 5 minutes for free and reduced show prices for the rest of the night.